The sun beats down on a tired janitor woman, her worn-out clothes clinging to her as she timidly approaches the towering gates of a luxury car show. A stern security guard blocks her path, his eyes cold and dismissive. No entry. Her face falls, a flicker of hurt shadowed by quiet determination. Why is she here? What dreams drive her to this place where she's clearly unwelcome? Then the scene cuts to a gleaming, rare luxury car gliding through the same gates. Driven by that very same woman, how did she rise from rejection to triumph? The world holds its breath as she redefines worth and dignity. Every morning before dawn, she begins her day, a janitor working tirelessly to clean offices that gleam under fluorescent lights. Her hands scrub floors, wipe windows and tidy spaces that many pass through without a second thought. It's hard, thankless work, done behind the scenes, invisible to the world around her. Yet she does it with quiet dignity and pride. Her life outside work is simple. She lives in a small, modest home with her family. A few rooms filled with love, laughter, and everyday struggles. She is the backbone of her household, supporting loved ones with every paycheck. Despite the hardships, she harbors dreams deep inside her heart, dreams she keeps private and protected. Among the few treasures she owns is a worn-out magazine about luxury cars, edges frayed from years of being handled carefully. Sometimes she pulls it out to gaze at the sleek, shining machines, symbols of speed, power, and freedom. She even has a small photo tucked away, showing a rare, beautiful car she admires silently. Nearby, the glamorous car show takes place, a dazzling display of wealth and prestige, attracting crowds who celebrate what she's always been told is not for people like her. The show is a vivid reminder of the barrier between her world and the life she dreams of, a world that seems forever out of reach. But despite society's rejection and the daily challenges she faces, her spirit remains unbroken. Her kindness shines through in small acts. Her resilience is steadfast, and her hope burns quietly but fiercely. She is more than the label given to her. She is a woman with dreams, strength, and an unyielding heart. The moment she was denied entry at the car show gates, something inside her shattered. The guard's cold eyes, the snide smile, the dismissive wave of his hand. It wasn't just rejection. It was a reminder that in this world, status is everything, and people like her are expected to stay invisible. As the rich and glamorous walked past her, she stood alone, heartbroken and humiliated, feeling like she didn't belong in a place ruled by wealth, polish, and privilege. That night, back in her small home, she sat quietly, replaying the scene in her mind. She looked at her calloused hands, her tired reflection, and asked herself, "Am I really worth nothing in their eyes?" The shame stung, but somewhere deeper a quiet fire began to burn. She could have walked away, could have accepted the rules the world had written for her, but she didn't. In the days that followed, small acts of kindness breathed life into her fading hope. A stranger at a gas station complimented her smile. A co-worker brought her coffee without asking. A child at the building she cleaned gave her a drawing of a car, calling her a superhero. They were little things, unnoticed by most, but to her they were fuel, gentle reminders that not everyone judged her by her clothes or class. Yet the divide between her and the luxury world she admired felt like an ocean. She would watch from afar, her reflection faint in the glass walls of car showrooms, as if She lived on the other side of a dream she could never touch. The cars sparkled like stars, and she felt like the sky. Too far, too distant. But what no one knew was that she had started working on something, quietly, secretly. In the shadows of her long shifts and sleepless nights, she was building something powerful, saving, learning, preparing. Not to prove anyone wrong, but to prove to herself that she was more than society's judgment. That she deserved not just to dream, but to live those dreams. Just when her days had begun to blur into a cycle of silent effort and quiet dreams, the unexpected happened. One evening, as she was cleaning the lobby of a high-rise office building, a wealthy businessman noticed her. He had seen her before, always early, always focused, never complaining. This time, something about the determination in her eyes made him pause. Curious, he struck up a conversation. One question led to another, and slowly she opened up about her love for cars, her struggles, and the dreams she never dared to say out loud. Instead of judgment, he offered something she hadn't received in a long time: belief. He didn't hand her a miracle. He gave her an opportunity. Through a small community program he funded, she was enrolled in an intensive course on automotive design and engineering. The program offered hands-on experience, mentorship, and, most importantly, a chance to build a custom car from scratch. She poured herself into it, working double shifts just to survive, while spending every spare moment learning, building, growing. Her humility never faded. She never called it luck. To her, it was the reward of years of silent resilience, of believing in herself when no one else did. She treated every part, every tool, every lesson as sacred. Months passed, and the car she built, with her own hands, heart, and story, was ready. But she wasn't going back to the car show just to look anymore. She was returning as an entrant, a contender, a creator. The world had tried to keep her outside the gates, but now the gates would open, not because of what she wore, but because of what she had built. And this time, she wouldn't just enter, she would arrive. The gates of the luxury car show slowly open. But this time, the woman who was once turned away isn't walking in with hesitation. She's driving. The crowd turns at the sound of a powerful engine, unlike anything they've heard before. Heads whip around, gasps fill the air. Cameras rise. There, emerging from a sea of sleek machines, is a custom-built masterpiece, bold, breathtaking, and unlike any other car at the event. Behind the wheels sits the same janitor woman, but today she looks like a force of nature. People stare in stunned silence. Some blink twice, unsure if they're seeing the same woman they once ignored. The security guard from before lowers his gaze in shame. Organizers, influencers, and elite car enthusiasts gather, mesmerized by the design, the craftsmanship, the soul in the vehicle she built with her own hands. As she steps out, her head held high, emotions swirl inside her. Pride, disbelief, and a deep remembrance of every step it took to get here. She sees flashes of her past, the long nights, the rejection, the stares, the silent tears, the dreams she almost gave up on, but also the hope, the kindness, and the fire that never let her stop. She hasn't just built a car, she shattered a wall. Her story isn't about engines or luxury. It's about breaking barriers, about rewriting what society told her she could never be. She is not just a janitor anymore. She is proof that grit can silence doubt, that dreams born in silence can roar loud enough to shake the world. In that moment, standing beside her creation, she becomes a symbol, not of wealth, but of worth, not of privilege, but of perseverance. And as the crowd slowly begins to applaud, their respect is no longer about the car. It's about the woman who refused to stay unseen and dared to drive her destiny. Her story reminds us that true worth isn't found in riches or appearances. It's in resilience, courage, and the refusal to let others define our limit. She didn't just drive a car into that show. She drove through every doubt the world threw at her. Her journey proves that even the most overlooked lives can hold the most extraordinary dreams. So ask yourself, what dreams have you put on hold because someone said you couldn't? What barriers in your life are waiting to be broken? Maybe, just maybe, your destination is grander than you imagined. If this story touched your heart, subscribe. For more powerful tales that break barriers and uplift the human spirit,